The 49ers just beat Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. And instead of hearing how great that was or how the 49ers look like a playoff team, look like a Super Bowl contender, you're hearing not really any of that. You're just hearing about the next opponent, the Eagles, and how tough the Eagles are for the 49ers and how the Eagles are just a better team than the 49ers. They have a better quarterback, the secondary is stronger, the defense is stronger, the offensive line will just manhandle the 49ers defensive line. Just forget about the defensive line for the 49ers. It's not like they're really that great. I mean, who do they really have? Just Nick Bosa? That's nothing. I mean, that's what it seems like people are trying to make the 49ers seem like. And I get it was a close game between them and the Cowboys, but that doesn't mean that they're just going to roll in, or the 49ers are going to roll into Philadelphia and the Philadelphia Eagles are going to do the same exact thing they did to the Giants to the 49ers. They might, but I don't think that's the proper way to do any analysis of a football team, especially two teams that are in the playoff. Another thing that's kind of interesting that I noticed happen almost immediately after this game is the skeptics came out on Brock Purdy and they basically labeled him, oh, well, yeah, Brock Purdy's a game manager. That's all he'll be. Yeah, is he good enough to win it? I don't think. That's what I see is a lot of people saying, well, looks what happened. The defense figured out Brock Purdy and it's over for him. He's going to fall off a cliff. It's done. But I didn't really see that out of Brock Purdy. What I saw out of Brock Purdy is a quarterback who actually ignited the 49ers offense plenty of times in the first half. I mean, a lot of those plays that actually hit were because of Brock Purdy. I don't think Jimmy Garoppolo could have made a lot of those plays. Jimmy Garoppolo would have been hit so many times and thrown so many picks. And I know it's not a competition between him and Jimmy because Jimmy's out, but there is something to be said about a rookie who's better than Jimmy Garoppolo, who apparently is better than Trey Lance. So, I mean, Brock Purdy must also be better than Trey Lance if he's performing better than Jimmy Garoppolo, who they started. I mean, this is just what I want to point out. Also, before this time, you could say that someone putting up 30 points a game isn't a great quarterback. I think that he's played great. I don't know if that means that he'll be the greatest of all time. I've joked around about that. I think he might be the greatest of all time rookie quarterback. And I mean, if he continues to win and goes on to win the Super Bowl, then he definitely would be the greatest rookie of all time. But right now, people are talking about him like he's Nick Mullins, I guess, after that game. But really, the quarterback that did a lot worse, in my opinion, was Dak Prescott. I mean, that guy really could not handle the pressure. And really, a person that I need to give my sincerest apologies and say I was wrong about you. I was so wrong. Lenore, Demo, whatever you like going by, I messed up. You are a good corner. I called you trash. I said you couldn't cover people. You can cover and you can intercept people because dang, you ran that route for that wide receiver. Good job, Lenore. I know he gave up that big pass, but Lenore's improved drastically since everyone's talked trash about him. Maybe he responds. You know how those people that just love trash talk and they can respond and get back at you? That's how I feel like Lenore is. And Lenore is not the only one. I think Purdy's the same exact way. You think that this guy can't respond to a little bit of negative criticism. I think it might actually fuel him hearing a lot of people call him not a franchise quarterback, calling him a game manager. These are things that I don't see out of Brock Purdy. I see someone that makes a lot of plays. I would consider a game manager someone that's pretty, I don't know, Jimmy Garoppolo is a game manager. And I mean, game managers aren't a bad thing. It's just not what Purdy is. It's just I feel like a lazy analysis because he does have the mobility. We've seen him make plenty of plays, and a lot of his plays are at elite levels. He did that sidearm throw that connected in this game, and those throws are pretty impressive. And he's not just managing the game because he's improved the offense. Managing the game, I feel like a lot of times would be, okay, we're going to run it, rely on their run game. But a lot of times that the 49ers have been winning recently is because of Brock Purdy, not in spite of Brock Purdy. He's the one, bombing it, making sure that he goes through all of his reads. And I mean, in this game, that pass to George Kittle was because of Brock Purdy. and George Kittle. It wasn't even in the play design. So Brock Purdy got to his 4th read on that play, and that was George Kittle. And George Kittle wasn't even supposed to run that route. He just felt the space in the field cover that space. Brock Purdy put it on him. George Kittle did a little juggling act, and you know what happened after that. He ran down the field, got pretty far. And that's not to say that Brock Purdy played perfectly in this game by any means. I mean, he had that near interception. Granted, it was tipped at the line of scrimmage, but he also had some other dumb, boneheaded moves. I mean, think about how he almost messed up the first half field goal at the end. He barely clocked it in time. He did that weird little spin out and then threw the ball into the turf when he really should have just grabbed it and threw it in the turf almost immediately if his first read wasn't there. And that was really it that I saw that was super negative out of Purdy. I mean, he really took everything the defense gave him and helped Kyle Shanahan actually ignite the offense. I mean, that George Kittle play was huge for the 49ers offense. But I do think it's fair to criticize Kyle Shanahan to a degree. I mean, it's not Brock Purdy who's calling these plays, and Kyle Shanahan really didn't have a great running game in the first half, considering how bad the Dallas running defense was prior to this game. And I think this is a problem we have seen in Kyle Shanahan for quite some time now. I mean, Kyle Shanahan has a tendency to crumble in the biggest moments. I mean, go no further back than last year. You could even say the Super Bowl. I mean, really just have your pick of any playoff game he ended in. He's had a history of losing big time moments, and I just wonder if Kyle Shanahan overthinks it, especially when he's going against his former boss in Dan Quinn. I mean, maybe the thought was, I want to really show this guy up, and I know what he's thinking, I'm thinking, so I'm going to think that. But then he's going to think that. I don't know how in-depth Kyle Shanahan's brain goes into these game plans. I mean, a lot of times he knows exactly what people are going to do. I mean, when they call those holding plays, have you those videos where he's on the sideline and a wide receiver or a tight end runs a route and he tells the ref, watch the defensive player that will hold him the following play, and lo and behold, that guy holds him. I mean, I don't know if Kyle Shanahan really can read people's minds and he's like, all right, Dan Quinn's thinking this, so I'm going to run this. But maybe he doesn't, because that last game was questionable in some play calls. I think that he could have done more to establish the run early. Mixing in more of Mitchell earlier would have been great to really bring it to the Dallas Cowboys, who I thought that's what the 49ers would do, because that's more of their identity. And you saw that in the second half, especially on that long drive. You had play action. You had everything that would establish the 49ers to be a Dallas team. And that's really a law of physicality. And they're going to need to bring that physicality against the Eagles. And I know I just began the thing saying, well, everyone's talking bad about the 49ers and saying how great the Eagles are. The Eagles are great, but so are the 49ers. I mean, they're both almost Super Bowl teams. It's just whoever beats each other, that's the better team, and that's how it should be. But we're not getting into the Eagles right now. We also need to talk about the San Francisco 49ers defense, and DeMeco Ryans was really cooking and in his bag of tricks this game. I mean, he made everyone realize he is a head coach candidate, and he's able to utilize his time and manage his time extremely well and dial up things that we haven't seen for it in a while. I mean, DeMeco Ryans had 4 head coaching interviews this week, but he decided to cancel 2 of them. And maybe that's because everyone started asking him like, hey, DeMeco, I know you have 4 head coaching interviews this week. How hard will it be to get on the game plan? And maybe he did realize at the end of the day, there's only so many hours in the day. So he did only 2 of those interviews. He canceled on the Colts and the Cardinals, I believe, were the 2 teams. But he really showed the Dallas Cowboys that the San Francisco 49ers are a number 1 defense for a reason, and a large part of that reason is him. He's an excellent coordinator. He was able to dial up some exotic blitz packages and really confused Dak Prescott in certain moments. And he really did do a nice job of showing things that really the 49ers haven't put on tape yet. And that's just showing what Kyle Shanahan should do. He should do something like DeMeco. And really, Kyle Shanahan has been the one carrying the team. So it's nice that the 49ers really continue to show They have a whole rounded team. And I think that's what people don't realize that's been shown with this winning streak with the 49ers. It's not that they have to win with offense. It's not that they have to win with defense. It's that they can win with both. And they can win with both against great teams. The Dallas Cowboys were a great team. And the San Francisco 49ers beat them with their defense. So that makes San Francisco's defense great, elite. And it really shows that the 49ers are an elite team because they can win in a variety of ways. It's really pick your poison. Do you want it to be a close game? The 49ers can win that way and win physically. And the 49ers, I think, match up well against the Eagles. And it's definitely going to be a hard game, a well-fought game. But I have my hope that the 49ers will win because I think they're the better team. I think the 49ers have a better coach. I think that Kyle Shanahan is going to prove the rest of the league that he's not just a brilliant offensive coach, even though he's been called that many times. He's a brilliant head coach, and he knows how to put around pieces to develop a team. And John Lynch too. I mean, D'Amico Ryans, head coach. Robert Saleh, head coach. Mike McDaniels, head coach, all coming from Kyle Shanahan's tree, you could say. And that's something that's really impressive. And I think if Kyle Shanahan just continues to grow into the coach that he can become and learn from his mistakes and learn from this game as a mistake, even though you got the win, it was a mistake by not relying on your identity and understanding what type of team you are. But I think the 49ers can beat the Eagles and advance to the next round by playing their style of football, and that's hitting you up the gut, outside on the runs with Christian McCaffrey, with Elijah Mitchell, and then play action or play action first. And that's how I see the 49ers beating the Eagles if they do. And on the defensive side of the ball, I have total faith in D'Amico Ryans to dial up something crazy. And only issue is the special teams and Ray McCloud. He might fumble in an opportune time. Maybe just tell him the fair catch. I don't know. I have issues as a 49ers fan. Kyle Williams ruined it for me. So yeah, Ray McCloud, don't do that and don't make me hate you for the rest of my life. And if you got this far in the video, I know you like this type of content, so please subscribe to my channel. It really helps out a ton. I appreciate all of the support that you guys have given me. Thank you guys. Also, if you could like, share this video, and do all that good stuff, and comment down below who you want to see in the Super Bowl. Is it the 49ers? Is it the Kansas City Chiefs? Is it the Bengals? Who is it? Please don't say the Eagles.